Hey, this is Derek again from MostInterestingLife.com, and today I'll be talking about 9 reasons why you should study martial arts, or why everyone should study martial arts. I've been studying martial arts since I was 5 years old. My dad enrolled me in karate, and I loved it. I grew up with all different martial arts movies like Karate Kid and such, so it just seemed like a cool thing to do, and I'm glad that I've done it. I've done it on and off my whole life since then, and there have been countless benefits for it. So, one thing is, as I said, it's something you could do your whole entire life. You could be an old man and be doing Tai Chi in the park. There are a lot of martial artists, karate guys, jiu-jitsu guys that are well into their 60s or older that are still doing martial arts. Whereas you don't see that with a lot of other sports. Football, you don't see it with baseball as much. Even basketball or hockey. It's just, those can be a lot tougher on the joints. In martial arts, if you're doing full contact, can be, but still, there's always options that you could do. Martial arts is softer ones like Aikido, Tai Chi. It's a lifelong endeavor, so it's something that you get into now and you can know while you're doing it that, hey, this is something that I'm going to be doing my whole life, whereas a lot of other sports and physical activities are not that way. Number 2, it's great exercise. To be a really good martial artist, you need to be strong, you need to have endurance, flexibility comes into play, you need to have good reflexes. Training martial arts trains everything for you. It trains every single part of your body to be as strong and as fit as possible. If you've ever done any bit of jiu-jitsu training, you know that there's nothing more exhausting than grappling with somebody and then grappling with somebody else right after, and that's what a lot of jiu-jitsu classes are like. So in my opinion, it's the best all-around way to exercise and get in excellent shape. Number 3, you could practice it anywhere. You can practice kicks and punches in a hotel room anywhere. You could shadow box. You could do martial arts anywhere. You could practice different jiu-jitsu, shrimping and mat moves on the ground anywhere. It's a great thing. It takes nothing, and especially if you have a partner, that increases the amount you can do. Or if you have a punching bag too, that's a cheap investment for the amount of exercise and training that you could get from martial arts. A lot of other sports and physical activities, they require a lot more equipment, they require a lot more space. Martial arts requires very minimal space, and you could practice them anywhere. Another thing is it could save your life. You're training how to fight, you're training how to defend yourself, you're training how to interact with other people. Studying martial arts is one physical activity, one type of sport that greatly applies to real life. We live in an imperfect world. There are people out there that might try to attack you, they might try to kill you, they might try to rob you, and you might have to fight in order to save your life. They might want to rob you and kill you. They might want to do any sort of terrible things. I like to believe most people are good, but there's a small percentage of bad people that are out there, and if you run into them, you want to be able to defend yourself, and the best way to do that is to learn martial arts. And another reason beyond that is you might want to save a loved one's life, a friend or somebody around you. If they get in trouble, it's good to be the person that is able to handle yourself and protect other people. So martial arts could save your life, it could save the life of people around you. So, that's what's more important than that. It's like an extra level of an insurance policy that you could have. Martial arts builds confidence, just overcoming challenges. A lot of martial arts have ranks that you gain and you work for. Just knowing that you could defend yourself, just overcoming the physical adversities of going through the classes and training. It builds confidence, mental confidence, physical confidence, getting in shape. Martial arts builds confidence more than just about any other physical activity I can think of. Another thing is in addition to confidence, it builds discipline and inner strength. In order to train martial arts, you need to train your body. You also need to train your mind. You need to remember different moves and techniques and practice them. and you need to be able to use those against other people. And so it's a real test of those abilities. So the best martial artists are the most disciplined martial artists. If you're not disciplined, you can't be a great martial artist. So it trains your endurance, it trains your physical strength, it trains your reflexes. And in order to do that, you need to practice. And that gives you discipline. When you walk into any real martial arts school, it's sort of like a sacred experience. There's a lot of respect. You bow and you respect your the students in the class. You respect your teacher. The whole thing is this discipline, respect, mental focus. It all combines in martial arts more than anything else. Other sports can be good, but for example, basketball, it just doesn't have that level of mental discipline and focus. So that's another great thing with martial arts. It trains the body, the mind, and even the spirit. Martial arts also gives you inner peace. If you could see, there are some jerky people out there that just want to go around fighting, but usually a trained fighter isn't like that. It's usually the guy that's not a good fighter that goes around wanting to start fights with people. Usually a trained person in the martial arts has a sense of inner peace to them. Part of this is knowing that if stuff gets bad, they can handle themselves. They can protect themselves. They can protect their loved ones. That gives an inner peace. And also just the discipline and the spirituality side. Martial arts gives an inner peace more than many other physical activities and hobbies you could take part in. And then finally, martial arts gives somewhat level of spirituality. Many martial arts involve different types of yoga poses, meditation. A great example are the Shaolin monks in China. They would meditate, and they were just like any other like Buddhist monks, but they would also train the bodies to fight too. And this had a few purposes. They knew that they could meditate and focus their minds a lot better if their bodies were also sharp. So they trained in the martial arts that way too. Like I said, it sharpens your mind and your body. And also, we live in a physical world. We live in a physical reality. It's great to be spiritual, but the truth is we're here to have a physical experience. So it's good to be able to defend yourself from certain physical threats while you're studying the spirituality too. Because if you get beat up and you get killed, you're not going to be able to advance spiritually in this life. So there's always a strong connection between a lot of the older martial arts, especially. And even if it's not one like if you're in a Brazilian jiu-jitsu class, it's just there's a solemn release of the mind of just being in class. Once you step on those mats, you're letting go of everything else. It's like a meditative experience. So however you want to take it, martial arts is a great way to spirituality. It's a great path to increased spirituality. So that's it. That's 9 reasons why you should study martial arts. If you've never done it before, it's never too late to start. There are plenty of classes in pretty much every city. In most community colleges, they have community classes you could take. Many gyms offer different martial arts. And you could find out what schools work best for you. Some are more brutal, some are more relaxed. I think it's good to learn a combination of martial arts, a little bit of grappling, a little bit of striking, like punches and kicks. And it's good to have a little bit of spirituality mixed in. I've studied karate, aikido, taekwondo, jiu-jitsu, kung fu, tai chi. I've studied all different sorts, and I found that having a mix of them, I've learned different skills. In judo, I've learned to throw. In jiu-jitsu, I've learned to grapple and lock people up. In the Muay Thai, kickboxing, karate, I've learned different strikes and blocks, different techniques in kung fu. You can learn a lot from different ones. So find what works for you. Do more research. I think a great way to start would be an MMA style with where you learn some jiu-jitsu mixed with some Muay Thai. But see what works for you. Anything's better than nothing with it, and you'll be glad. It's tough going to class a lot of times because some of the workouts can be really brutal. But that's how you forge iron. That's how you forge steel, and in a forge. And it'll make you a more interesting person. It'll make you a better person, and it'll make your life just more interesting all around. if you're looking to live an interesting life, it's great to be able to say, hey, I'm a black belt in whatever martial art, or I study this and that, and it really just makes you a much more well-rounded person. So that's all I have to say again today. I'm about to go in the gym. I had a float session earlier today. I'll be sure to do a YouTube video on float tanks. I've already done an article on my blog, Most Interesting Life, about it, but I'm in a very nice mellow mood right now. I'm in my car, figured might as well do a video before I go into the gym. So as usual, if you like my video, please just give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, all those good things, and until next time, stay interesting.